Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a 26-minute conversation.
Oh no, 20 cynics.
There are probably more
20
than
cynics
listening right now, Amanda, to the Insomnia Project. We just want you to chill on this episode.
Imagine being a cynic listening to this podcast.
You're like, yeah, I'm here for this, but I'm going to judge it.
Yeah. I thought you were cutting me off.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
Being like, I don't think this is going to make me sleep. And then sitting with your arms crossed. I'm sure there are people that do that.
Oh, certainly.
I think that happens a lot when people overhype movies or TV shows. I have such a hard time in Oscar season when some movies get really overhyped and then, it's like that thing of it really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just see something out of the blue and you have no expectations, maybe you haven't even seen the trailer. It's one of the reasons I love the Toronto Fringe Festival or any Fringe Festival, just going into random plays or musicals or whatever it ends up being and just seeing something without any expectation.
Exactly.
It's such a great way to experience something.
Do you remember the double feature?
Like in movies?
Yeah, there was a time, and I only remember it for a short glimmer of time.
Wasn't it in the 50s?
No, I wasn't around in the 50s.
Okay.
And that's why maybe it disappeared. Maybe I was really young. I was in my teens, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we went to go see a movie, and then at the start of the movie, they would say, they'd make this announcement, this is a double feature. We're going to play a film before the film that you've paid for, which means you're going to be here for two films. If you cannot be here for two films, please exit. We'll give you a refund or we'll get you another movie or something like that.
So you had to watch the second movie?
Yeah, or I think they played it first before. So you'd pay to see a movie. Yeah.
Okay.
So this happened only twice. And
I can understand. I have a theory about it.
both times the movie was a surprise, excellent film. So once it was, do you remember the movie Beaches with Bette Midler? And,
do I remember the movie Beaches?
And was it Demi Moore? Or
No,
somebody
it was
else?
not Demi Moore. It was, if you hadn't asked me, I would remember.
They were singers and they were in a band or something.
No. What? No.
She was a Broadway star.
Yeah. Are you actually, I know this movie inside and out.
I saw it as a teen by accident.
Oh, what is this
at a
woman's
double
name?
feature.
What was that woman's name? I just remember she got lip injections for the movie for some reason.
Isn't she the one who plays on Downton Abbey, the wife of Mr.
No. Oh my gosh, this is going to drive me crazy.
Well, you'll think about it. But
Yeah.
anyway, so we saw that, and it was like, wow, what a great film. And then we saw the film that we paid for. I want to say it was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which also was a great film.
Mm-hmm. But Beaches actually didn't do that well in theaters, truthfully.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I knew nothing about it when they played it, and it was like, oh, what a cool film, right? We weren't expecting it, this kind of film about pals through the ages or something like that.
Women, yeah. About women's friendship, which I guess is pals, but we don't usually use pals for women. We usually use it for men.
Sure.
Her name, I'm trying to come up with
I guess you could call it
Barbara Hershey.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I said, didn't I?
I believe you said Demi Moore.
Okay. Well, so it was a buddy picture, right? So it was really great. Then
it was a story of friendship. Again, with women, we don't usually call them a buddy picture.
But that's what that genre of film is called, buddy pictures.
I think a buddy picture has a comedic ending, which Beaches, spoiler alert, came out in 1989, does not have a comedic ending.
It doesn't? A little bit.
Are you joking?
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes. Right. Okay.
For real, are you joking?
No.
Okay.
There are comedic moments in it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, because Bette Midler's amazing
Right.
in it. Yeah. And she plays this aspiring actress, singer. I mean, she's amazing in it. She's so good. I mean, I know the movie inside and how they have not made that into a Broadway musical is beyond me. Of all the things that have become Broadway musicals, that like Back to the Future or Waitress the movie, never saw that as a Broadway musical.
Huey Lewis and the News' album is a musical.
I mean, that's what we call a jukebox or juke. It's really juke box, isn't it? But I always say jute with a T.
No, jute is a fabric made of
I know, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Anyway, that's what the Huey Lewis and the News one was. And there's several others like that. I mean, that's what Mamma Mia is. Mamma Mia is a jukebox musical with a story. But Beaches should be made into a musical.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more.
producers of Broadway.
So the other and only
And
other
then you
movie,
could do the musical within the musical, because she's in. There's actually 2 musicals featured in that movie. I think it's one of the reasons it's so big with people like me who love musicals and grew
Right.
up watching them. Do you remember the 2 musicals?
Yeah, one is like a body musical.
Yes, it's like the one I was in, which was called Spank.
That's the one you were in.
But I think hers is called Honk or something.
Okay.
I have to look it
And then the other one was some avant-garde thing.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Okay.
right.
All right. Well, it
The
doesn't.
song was called Oh Misery,
Okay.
and it was like about industrialization and stuff,
Right.
which is funny to watch Bette Midler in anything that's like that, because she's so great and her voice is so distinctive and so on. But I don't know, like, I don't think she would be the person you would go to cast for that. But anyway,
Okay. Well, while Amanda's looking something up, I'm going to talk about the other movie that I saw.
I'm
as a
looking up
double.
the other musical that's in the movie Beaches.
We never introduced ourselves. I'm Marco Timpano.
I'm Amanda Barker.
And thank you for joining us. Thank you for being patient, because it's been 2 weeks since we aired an episode. I was sick last week, and prior to that, we had a bit of a family emergency we were dealing with. So we're back on the air, and thank you for being patient. And remind me, Amanda, I have a message that I have to read after I talk about my next film that I saw at a double feature.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, I would say, hang on. How long is Beaches the musical I'm seeing?
Oh, okay.
So someone has made it into a musical.
Well, how long is it? That's what I need to know now.
It's a 2.5-hour show with a 20-minute intermission. So this has happened.
Okay.
It came out in May.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
May. So where did it go? Because Beaches the Theater Calgary is doing Beaches the musical.
Maybe it just didn't live up to what you hoped it lived up to.
I really do need to know what the name of that musical is. It's like because I remember when I was touring with Spank, I'm like, oh my God, I've become Bette Midler in Beaches.
Right.
Well, that's going to bother me.
All right. Well, while it bothers you, can I talk about the other movie I saw on
Sure.
the double feature?
Yes.
So the second movie that I saw, this was a few years later.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, this movie hadn't come out. I hadn't seen a trailer for it. Was totally unaware. Was the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze,
Oh, wow.
Whoopi Goldberg, and of course, now Demi Moore.
Uh-huh.
And that we were like, wow, what a great film. And once again, a film that did not receive great critical acclaim from critics, but found its
Ghost did
audience.
not?
No.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It got panned, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
But I enjoyed that, and I was like, this movie is great. And, when you see something without that sort of baggage attached to it of everyone loving it,
Mm-hmm.
you can sort of form your own opinion. And though both those movies I have a very good impression of.
Amazing.
Because I saw them before the film that we were actually going to see. And I wish I could remember the films that we actually saw, because this preview, was it called a double feature? Was it called a preview? Preview. It had a really interesting name when you'd go to the theater and they'd say, all right, you're here at our theater and it's going to be a preview screening, double feature. I can't remember, but it was so long ago, if you will.
I have gone down a deep rabbit hole as
Okay.
you were talking about, I don't know if, the name of the song, it's a name, is Otto Titzling. And that's the name of the song from the musical. And now I've learned a whole bunch that was actually taken from a 1971 satire called Bust Up, the uplifting tale of Otto Titzling by New Zealand humorist Wallace Rayburn. And it was a book. And that's so interesting. Oh, and it was a hoax because this guy never existed.
Who, Otto Titzling never existed?
No.
I thought he invented the brassiere.
Well, and that's why it's a hoax. It was even made it into Trivial Pursuit. Who invented the brassiere? Otto Titzling. Except,
Trivial Pursuit?
yeah,
Trivial Pursuit, yeah.
yeah, that's the off-brand version of Trivial
The
Pursuit.
knockoff.
And so they used all of that from the book, Philip D. Brazier, which is in the book too, for this fictitious musical that lives within Beaches. However, the fictitious musical, I still cannot find the name. I really think it's like one word. It's like honk or spank, but it's not spank, or it's something like that, like it's one word. Now, I do have friends I could message.
Okay, it is early in the morning, but maybe
I know.
not too early.
You know what? Here's how you know when you have good friends. I'm going to go ahead and text. It is early in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and text my friend Daniel.
All right.
And see how quickly I get a
Daniel's
response.
a friend of the podcast.
He's a good friend of the podcast and a friend of mine.
And a good friend of mine. And while Amanda does that, I'm going to read a Instagram message that we received from one of our listeners. Okay, Amanda?
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for everyone who does send us messages, especially messages of support and corrections and whatnot. We really do appreciate it. We don't always get to them as quickly as we can, but we do appreciate them. Amanda is texting. I'll just wait till she's done texting before I read this.
Well, here's what I'm texting. This is the live feed, folks. Okay, I need the name of the Otto Titzling musical in Beaches. I know it is early, but you are the only one I can trust with this.
Okay, there we go. We'll see if Daniel gets back to us before the end of this podcast. Okay, so, Amanda, do you want to read this message or shall I?
I think you can. You have it in your hand.
All right. So, Janelle W. says the following. I love the Insomnia Project podcast. ! Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's true when there's an exclamation mark that follows it.
Mm-hmm.
Were you talking about a perfume called exclamation mark?
Exclamation. Yep.
Okay. Did you own that perfume?
Everyone owned that perfume, and we have gotten so much response from that show. And I was with a group of friends who were talking about their daughters, and how what their daughter's version of what we had as exclamation in the 80s.
So it was exclamation like 90s. A cheaper perfume, or
yes.
Or was it an eau de toilette?
No, it was very cheap and very cheerful.
Okay.
It might have been $15. I don't know. Like, it was cheap perfume. They got to bring it back. And we loved it. Like, I remember loving the smell of exclamation.
Was the bottle an exclamation mark?
Yes. Yeah, we've covered this. Yeah.
We did on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember?
I mean, there's so many podcast
Margo,
episodes. Amanda.
That's how I've told you about exclamation.
No.
And then I sang it in English and French. Exclamation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I remember you talking recently, just the other day, with our friend Dale, who's also a friend of the podcast.
About exclamation.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did a whole podcast episode on it. Anyway, it lives in our memories. R.I.P.
Clearly not mine.
Yeah, right. But her daughter is really into a particular Ariana Grande perfume. And then we went shopping with her niece last night, who educated me on Sol de Janeiro, which is perfume spray that you put in your hair.
Hair perfume, I believe.
Hair perfume. I didn't know that was a thing.
The woman who worked there said it was a body mist and hair perfume. And I said, there's a thing called a hair perfume?
It's really funny. And then our adorable niece, she was like, what are you looking for? And our niece very eruditely said, I'm really looking for more of a fall scent right now. She wanted things that had notes of fall in it. And she got it.
I respect that because for my cologne, Amanda, I have a spring cologne, I have a fall cologne, and I have the cologne that you like.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The name of the musical is Sizzle 76.
Okay.
I was thinking it was Sizzle.
What's the other musical where she's like all robotic or whatever called?
I don't know if that one had a name.
Well, you have someone on the hotline there that you can text.
I can't believe he got back to me. Okay, and the dystopian Okay, and this has got to be putting people to sleep now.
Well, it's always fun to listen to people formulate a text. While Amanda's doing that, I'll just say Daniel Krolik is such an awesome person. When I don't know anyone who knows more about musicals than Daniel Krolik, and Daniel actually once got us to read a musical, and I was told I wouldn't have to sing, and then I got there, and there was a whole bunch of like these wonderful musical theater people, and we're all reading. I believe it was Assassins, which was a musical I'd never heard of before.
It's a bunch of assassins singing to each other.
Yeah, and I had to sing.
I killed Abraham. I killed Abraham Lincoln.
And I had to sing a couple of notes or something would come to me, and I was like, oh no, here we go. And
Yeah. So what happened was, just to explain, our friend, this is the Daniel Krolik podcast now.
I would listen to the Daniel. In fact, I will say this: if you haven't listened to Daniel on our podcast, you can find him as a co-host of a fantastic podcast called Bad Gay Movies, Bitchy Gay Men, and that's hosted by Bill Antonui, who's also a huge friend of this podcast, and he's actually the reason I got into podcasting. And Daniel Krolik, and there's one
Bill
other.
is the reason you got into podcasting?
Yeah, because remember when I wanted to get into podcasting and I didn't know anyone, and you're like, Daniel's friend Bill, who's a friend of mine, you kept saying, is a podcaster. I can reach out to him.
I did not remember this at all.
Yeah, and you're like, do you want me to reach out to Bill? I go, I don't know if Bill will remember me. And you're like, I think he will. And plus, Bill's such a nice guy. And you said, I love Bill. And so I
do love Bill.
And you're
yeah.
like, I don't know anyone else who would be more happy to help you, or who would.
He really is a great guy.
He is a great guy.
Yeah,
as is Daniel. And
they are. Yes.
And whenever I need advice on other things, I'll turn to Daniel, and he always gives very sage advice. Anyways,
like Beaches references,
like anything like that. But also, I love going to dinner with Daniel. We need to make it, because Daniel's a lot of fun at dinner, even. And I don't even mean fun. He's just a great person to go to dinner with. He knows how to order food. We always have a lovely time, and I really enjoy hanging out with him. So there you go. All right. While we're waiting for Daniel's,
I don't know if the text has gone through.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I only read one line.
Okay.
From Janelle's message. Okay, so here we go, because it's a little bit long. I love the Insomnia Project podcast, ! Not the perfume, but the actual punctuation. I find myself strangely compelled to clarify for both you and Amanda. I find myself strangely compelled to clarify for you both that Amanda didn't assert that only Canada has bagged milk.
Oh, here we are with the bagged milk.
She inquired whether...
I'll never live it down.
This is actually supporting you. She said, You didn't assert it. You inquired whether Canada was the only country with bagged milk. It was Marco that affirmed, incorrectly apparently, that Canada was the only country with bagged milk. It went like this. At about 8 minutes and 10 minutes into the Shreddies podcast episode, Amanda, you want to read your line there?
Sure. We'll recreate it. This is a recreation. Amanda, is Canada the only country in the world that has bags of milk?
And then it comes back to me, Marco. I believe so. so that's exactly how it went. So there you have it. This is Janelle now. Folks, the responsibility for the bagged milk controversy of 2024 is at least shared 50-50 or slightly more on Marco's shoulder for affirming that with my authoritative tone, as opposed to Amanda's inquiry, that left possibilities open. There's no sense crying over and over and over again bagged milk, so please keep the Insomnia Project going. Janelle, thank you very much. We will keep that going. And do you feel vindicated, Amanda, with your bagged milk controversy?
Yeah. Daniel's like, what is going on? Why are you asking? I do, because listen, and I will say this, and maybe this is the final note of the bagged milk situation.
One can only hope.
Because when we were talking about it, I believe it was because we were talking about the fact that I got bagged milk and put it in the freezer.
Yeah, it was on sale and you bought. So how are we with that frozen bag?
So here's the thing. I looked this morning. I defrosted yet another bag like a day or two ago. And I looked this morning. I think we have the final one in the freezer.
Oh, my goodness.
But that's incredible because we are into October now.
And when did you buy them?
Well, the dates on those milk bags are either August 4th or August 7th.
Wow.
So it would have been before August 4th, so August long weekend, I think. So August 1st, so that's 2 months. For $6, I got 2 months worth of milk. Now we don't have, 5 kids at home having bowls of cereal. We really just use milk for our coffee. I think I made a cream of broccoli soup last week. So, I use milk
daily, but not in large quantities.
Daily, but exactly. Sparingly, but daily probably on some levels. So I'm still pretty impressed. That was a good find. And I also want to say, I don't know if I talked about the Great Bagel Haul
Oh, yes.
of 2024, but I got these bagels. I know I'm dating the podcast right now, and I apologize.
That's right.
But I got all these bagels that were like marked down and then further marked down. And we estimated that they all cost us 12 cents a bag. And along with the bag milk, I crammed them into every aspect of my freezer. And I have one more of those bagels in the freezer. And they have lasted for these months too. So, you know, these I feel like I follow this she's not a podcaster. She's, I don't know, she sends me emails and then I get YouTube clips. I think she's a YouTuber.
Okay. But
social media personality that has a whole thing. Should I plug her?
You can if you want.
I never do this because I never follow anybody, but her name's Tara, I think, and it's called Living on a Dime.
Okay.
And, you know, that's always going to draw me in. And it's really kind of like, almost like we're talking like Nevada, Utah homesteader kind of advice.
Sure.
And so she had one yesterday about these like grocery hauls. I'm like, I've never heard of this grocery store. And, you know, it can be pretty local to that world and that area. So it's not always helpful, but she does have this like Living on a Dime cookbook she's always selling or
and it's like how to
sending out recipes,
how to maximize your dollars with.
Really, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's all about that, which I'm always into. I always try to follow things like that, even if I ideologically am not matched with that person. I like to just see, like, you can always pick up tips, right?
Sure.
And speaking of which, who did we run into? Who's also really good friends with Dan Hukrolik, actually, one of his best friends.
Oh, that's right.
Allison.
That's right.
And Allison's mother. Should I say her full name? Because she's also a creator, content creator.
Sure. Her
name's Allison Broverman. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's just become a plug-a-thon. I hope you're asleep now, but if you're not and you're like, wow, what businesses in Toronto can I support? Trying to remember the name of the restaurant.
Borel. It's
Borel,
fantastic.
Thank you.
It's a Dutch
snack bar. Yeah.
And Dutch like countries that have been influenced by the Dutch.
Yeah,
also.
So Indonesian, perhaps.
There's dishes from all those like Dutch influenced countries, or however you want to put it. But
it's a lovely place. It's in the East End of Toronto, Borel.
If you're coming to Toronto,
2 hours in that.
It's a hidden gem, so you want to check it out because
for sure.
And they had an Oscar party there that we went to because you were talking about Oscars, and
it was lovely,
and it was so great.
We should do that again this year.
It was lovely bumping into her and her parents in a drugstore or drug mart.
So we bumped into her. That restaurant's in the East End. We live in the West End, and we went to a garlic festival. Actually,
that's right.
This weekend, we should probably talk about. And it was quite warm, and so we went into nearby. There was a drugstore, and we had our nephew with us, and so we said, you know, it's hot. Let's step inside the drugstore just to get some air conditioning, and then we can figure out our next steps. And as we walked in, there she was with her parents. And the reason I'm bringing any of this up, truly, is because I've talked about her mom, and I said to her mother, who was there, I think about you so often because you taught me to get ends of cheeses from cheesemongers for your cheese plate.
So just to explain, if you go to a cheesemonger and you say, I've got $35 that I want to spend, can you give me all the ends of cheeses that you don't know what to do with because it's not enough? And cheesemongers will generally say, wow, of course I'm happy to. And they end up giving you more cheese than you would if you just bought it by the weight. And you get to try a whole bunch of different cheeses. Often they'll ask you, what cheeses don't you like? So they don't include those cheese ends into the bundle. But you've always scored very well when you've done that, Amanda.
I have, yeah. And I think it's really great to do in different cities because, you know, there's certain cheeses I like, but I don't need to get the best, you know, French or Dutch or whatever cheese when I'm in Thunder Bay, Ontario. I want to get what's interesting and local to Thunder Bay, Ontario. Which there might be Finnish cheese, actually.
Yeah.
There's a huge Finnish population and Italian population. So, you know, they'll know what they have and be able to showcase it that way. And then you're not committing to any one huge block of cheese.
Well, there you go. Well, I know what I have in a co-host and a wonderful, delightful person who stopped her work today to come down and record the podcast so I could get this one out on time and on spec, as we say.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda, I'm going to put this up on our podcast, and then I'm going to head to work, and then you are working as well, and then I come back to my baking class tonight. And
Marco, we didn't talk about the garlic festival, though. We really teased it.
you have 1 minute. Tell us about the bar.
Oh, only 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it was lovely. It was a garlic festival. It showcased all things garlic. And because it was a garlic festival, there was a nice booth of mouthwash there. And we got some free mouthwash. Not mouthwash. Is it mouthwash?
Mouthwash, yeah. They weren't actually handing out the mouthwash, but because that's a brand I know and I enjoy, I had mentioned it to them. And I said, Are there new brands? She's like, I'm going to give you one. And I was like, all right.
It was a great hookup. And there was some live jazz. And we took our sweet nephew, one of our nephews, and he ended up getting ice cream. There was no garlic involved in the ice cream.
No, but I did see gelato that had ice cream in it that they were selling. There was a really big line.
And we got garlic poetry. They would write garlic poetry on the spot for you.
Yeah, they asked you three things, or they asked each one of us things we liked about garlic, and then they incorporated those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked its bulbousness.
What did he like? The taste?
The taste.
And I liked its antifungal properties, which she said was quite a challenge to work into a poem, but she made it happen.
Tune in next week. We will read that poem on air if we can find it, and you'll hear that garlic poem.
Absolutely.
Until next time, we hope you were able to listen and sleep.